always kills evil in this valley of the dark. So walk with us through it. Come on, now let's start. Every time you show love, your spirit will soar. The angels rejoice as they cry out for more. More of your giving, more kindness and love. Doing more for others as hearts rise above the hate and the fear the world wants to bring is useless against you as your spirit it sings. Because this army is strong, even though they act soft. Every sword used against them, its aim will be off. Every blow, every strike will always falter. This army bows only to the Father's great altar. Bring in the crusaders, bring in those who give. Bring in the peacemakers and those who protect kids. There is no match for this army of good. Send heathens and thieves right back to the hood. Strike out with violence if you feel that you must, but your swing will fall short, bullets crumble to dust. You may win the battle, but you won't win the war, because this army right here brings so much more. To the table we gather with sword and shield. We fight hatred with kindness and the world is healed. We strike cold into the hearts of those who prefer hate, because our hearts are true and our spirits won't break. Bring in the crusaders, bring in those who give. Bring in the peacemakers and those who protect kids. Bring in the great ones who are wise and true. Bring in the intelligent who can always see through. Ooh, ooh, ooh. In this war for truth, the end is foretold. It's a victory of hearts who come into the fold. Welcome all friends whose hearts are true, spirits are pure. We need all of you.
Welcome everyone to another Friday night live. We are here live with everyone on a Friday night, and I wasn't planning on it because we were going to do a weekend live, but there's been so much going on this week, you guys. Hey everyone, welcome to all of you coming in. I'm so excited to see so many new names. Of course, we have our usual. I want to welcome and thank our mods, Eve Hickam Gorley, of course, Rockin' Robin, Gio Bortz. Thank you guys for modding for us. A few other people that are mods coming in, and I'm going to try to hit you all, but we've got Teddy Wood. Let's see, Kyle. I'm not going to be great at catching everyone, you guys, because we've got a lot of people coming in. As you come in, please hit the like. And, of course, if you're brand new here, welcome to the tribe. Hit subscribe. We love to have more people coming in and joining. We have a lot going on. A lot to talk about tonight. A lot to talk about. Welcome to, let's see who else is here. Lulu, thank you so much for being here. If I missed you guys, I'm so sorry. I'm just scrolling. I've got Teddy. I think I saw Dukes earlier when I was scrolling through. Thank you for being here, Dukes. Appreciate you so much. Bye, Felicia. Love having you here. Thank you for joining. Amami Spicer, I don't recall seeing you before, so welcome. If you have been here before, I apologize for missing you. But welcome to our channel. Lorraine Wadowski. Let's see here. I think I caught you, Kyle. Heaven Lay 2003. Love your name. It's a beautiful name. Hi, Dukes. Natasha Natasha Defoe. That's a cool name too. And Nicole Gucci baby. Hey Cher, good to see you here. Thanks for coming. Thanks for joining. You guys, we have a whole bunch tonight. I don't like doing constant one summer live after another. We'd like to kind of spread things out and cover a lot of cases, but there's been so much that has happened over the past week since we've been starting to work with Chris. Chris will be here in a minute. He was going to be here exactly 8 o'clock. The poor guy just called me and he's like, that's okay. Hey, my dad is on a cruise. It's okay. Yeah, no problem. He called me and he's like, dude, I have to go pick up my kid. He's got 2 little kids, so it's hard for him to get his timing just right. So he has to run and get his kids. He'll be here in about 20 minutes, which is actually perfect timing because I need to cover some breaking news in the Leila Santelo case that just came out today. Detective Claire, I think his name's William Claire, who is the lead detective on Leila's case, did an interview with one of our favorite local reporters, by the way, Kristen Kwan, who we love because she keeps a highlight on local missing persons cases better than any other local reporter. And I, seeing all these names in here, OG Nanny, welcome. Jen and I were talking the other day about you all, about this tribe and the growth of this community and the type of people that we're attracting. For those of you who are new to this tribe and maybe this is your first night here with us, you may notice from the chat, the tone of the chat, the type of people we have in here. We've worked really hard to attract people who approach cases and approach these types of stories and these types of missing persons cases like we do, with an open mind, no drama, or at least reduce as little as drama as possible. Try to focus on the missing person, try to really help the family as much as possible, and take all the evidence and facts into account and try to dismiss all of the disinformation and misinformation in these cases. It's really hard, as you all know. Tennessee Truth, welcome. I'm so happy you're here. It's very hard. It's very hard, you guys, to cover these cases, especially cases like Summer or Sebastian, right? These cases that are just high drama, so much infighting between channels, and it's hard to stay focused. And having a community like you all, who you all keep us focused, because when we stray a little bit into the drama, we've got a bunch of you going, look, stay focused. Stay focused on the searching. Stay focused on investigating. What you do is what we want to see, and I appreciate that so much about you guys. It's hard and it's really important, and there's a lot going on in this case. And speaking of drama, and I'll let Chris talk about this. Hey Pansley, good to see you. I'm sorry I'm not highlighting your comments, everyone. I have like a hyper focused form of like ADHD or whatever, so when I'm talking I have a hard time highlighting chat and doing all and calling out my page. So trying to do everything. I apologize if I miss your comments. So let's focus. I'm going to try to focus. The Leila Santelo case, there's been a new update tonight, and Leila's mom, Jennifer Santelo, posted a Facebook comment saying that there's been a interview with Detective Claire, who's the lead investigator in Leila Santelo's case. If you guys have been following us for a while, by the way, if you're new here, all of you who are new here, I'm begging you, please subscribe, because we've got so many cases we cover. There's so much going on. You want to stick with us because we have updates on not just Summer's case, but Leila's, new cases we take on, a lot of work we're doing, and we're trying to update you all at the same time. And Leila's mom, Jennifer, tonight posted a post saying that the lead detective was interviewed by Kristen Kwan of WCYB, and he released some new information. I would say it's, for those of you following Leila's case, it may not shock you, but it's sad. It's very sad because Kingsport PD has never actually come out and said what they believe in this case, or really provided a lot of information about the case, and this is the first time. Thank you, Rock and Robin. This is the first time that he, as far as I know, first time he's done a news interview giving his opinion and talking about facts in the case and what they know. Now you have to understand, like most police departments, especially Kingsport PD, don't usually share information. They, even if it's general, they're not going to say what they know in the case. And what's shocking and amazing, and I want to give kudos to Detective Claire for doing this interview and sharing this with the community, is he shared what they know. And if you listen to his interview, you guys, he's admitting a whole bunch of important things that they know about this case that helps us understand what actually happened to Leila. Unfortunately, it's not his bottom line isn't the greatest news, but I want to share with you guys this, and this will give time for Chris to go pick up his kid and come in here in a little bit, and we're going to talk about Chris's information he's come across this week. Let me see if I do this right. Okay. So Kristen Kwan today, about 7 hours ago, she posted new details. This is related to Leila Santelo's case. Hey, Cherry Marie. Thank you. Thank you so much for being here. Appreciate that. New details. This Saturday marks 3 years since 28-year-old Leila Santelo was last seen in Kingsport. Leila was reported missing on June 27th, 2023, after she was last seen leaving the AmeriCorps Hotel on American Way. Despite extensive searches, countless tips, and years of investigation, her disappearance remains unsolved. Today, I spoke with Corporal William Clare of the Kingsport Police Department. While the investigation remains active, Clare said investigators believe the evidence they have gathered corroborates that Leila is likely unalived, which is confirmation that all of the evidence they have points in that direction. And it's strongly enough that a law enforcement officer is going to say publicly that's what they believe. There were a lot of comments under this by the family. I saw Opie wasn't happy about it. A lot of supporters, you know, Opie is the stepfather of Leila. I know Kimberly, actually. I didn't see this. Kimberly Carland, we met her during the Helene disaster. A lot of people weren't too happy about it, but the truth is, you guys, like, investigators go where they go. And that's what they believe, and it's very sad. I know Leila is not Jennifer Santinello. This was hard. If you ask her, she will not say that she is surprised. She's leaned this way for a long time. It's just hearing it from law enforcement who have all the facts. Very hard to hear, and kind of accept. It's more in that direction of, it's some closure, but unfortunately there's no closure. There's no proof. There's no evidence. But this is where investigators are saying they headed. Thank you to Real Rock and Robin. I was searching frantically for the interview. I knew it was coming out tonight, and I found the link to it. So we're going to watch sections. I don't want to play the whole thing for copyright reasons, but I'm going to play the most important sections of this interview with Detective Claire and Kristen. Thank you, Kristen Kwan, again, for covering these cases, these local cases. Kristen Kwan, I'm going to shout her praises to the rooftops, because she is a local reporter who makes sure these cases stay in the forefront, and she's a fantastic, one of the most rare types of reporters who actually do this for local communities, and she keeps these cases on the forefront. So let's take a look at this interview with...
Since Leila Santelo was last seen in Kingsport.
I did that really fast. Let me know if you can't hear the sound, and I'll fix it, okay?
But for her mother, Jennifer, time hasn't eased the pain or silenced the questions.
I want my baby back. I want to wrap my arms around her. I will never stop looking.
It was originally reported that Leila was last seen in June of 2023.
Trying to predict the future.
A lot of ads, but I don't blame WCYB for doing ads. It's hard to have a media site these days. So we'll let it play.
Future is a hazardous occupation. The only thing we can be sure of is that it will be.
After leaving the AmeriCorps Hotel near Eastone Drive, surveillance video captured her.
For the points that get you a little
That's
paradise.
A lot,
for the treats for you and your furry friend.
walking barefoot through the area before she vanished.
I was expecting her to eventually call and tell me what was going on.
By the way, Jennifer's story has never changed. What she did in the days right after Leila disappeared was, first few days she didn't know. Like, you know, your teenage daughter disappears. She didn't know what was happening. So that was her belief system until enough time went on, and she's like, there's something seriously wrong. Anybody who's attacked Jennifer Santelo in any way, you're way off base. She has always told the same story. She does search, and she actually, I want to point this out tonight, you guys, right after we got Moon certified for HRD and live tracking, I just told Jennifer and Opie, I said, look, now that we are with the American Working Dog Association, we have to make sure law enforcement is okay with us doing what we do. And I asked her if she didn't mind talking to Detective Claire, saying they've got a dog team willing to help, certified. Is it okay? Detective Claire approved them using a certified canine. So he said he doesn't know a whole lot about certified teams, so he supports her searching and supports her using Moon to help search. So Moon is approved. Moon's officially approved to help Jennifer Santelo and Leila's search team search for Leila. So that's good. Some good news today.
Now, police are revealing new details.
And that's, to your knowledge, the last time anybody has seen her.
No.
So there has been sightings after that.
There has. It took about 6 months, but we got in December of that year, we got a fairly significant break.
Corporal William Clare says through thousands of interviews.
Sorry, I got to hear that again.
We got a fairly significant break.
So there has Air Jordan 1.
The reason I'm replaying that, you guys, when I watched it the first time, I didn't realize he gave the date that they got the new information. So I just want to hear that clearly.
Going for 69. Has been sightings after that.
There has. It took about 6 months, but we got in December of that year, we got a fairly significant break.
Corporal William Clare says through thousands of interviews.
So he's saying December of that year, I believe he's talking about 2023, they got a significant break in the case, which is interesting. I didn't realize something important came up in December of that year. I don't know what the break is, Joyce, but it's interesting. In December, something came up. I'd have to look through, you know, the different news articles and what was happening in December, but that is really interesting.
Subpoenas and search warrants. They believe a small group of people spent the day with Leila after she left the AmeriCorps and know where she is.
We're not positive how she got to her location, but she did meet up with a group of people at another location.
She did meet up with a group of people at another location. And that's interesting too, because the stories, we've heard various stories, right? She was walking toward the trail, the Greenbelt. Other people say, no, she left the AmeriCorps area and met up with other people at another location. And if you guys have watched our Leila Santelo videos, you know the story. I'm not going to go into it now. It's a lot. But this matches that story, and that's fascinating because it means that's very likely true that she was transported to another location with a group of people, and she stayed there with them until that's where she passed. It's amazing. You guys, you have to understand, him saying this publicly verifies that that story is true, that that's where she was unalived or in whatever, intentionally or accidentally. There's so much information he is sharing here that he's doing it in a very general way, not talking about specifics. But from what we've heard and what we shared with you all in this case, he's confirming a lot of stuff, which is fascinating.
Inside in the city of Kingsport, and spent the evening with them, and then eventually she died, based on the evidence I've collected at this point.
And Corporal Clare has
Get ready to turn up the fun at Jellystone Park Golden Valley. Splash the day away at our swimming.
a strong message for those who were there.
It's incredibly difficult and frustrating every day.
Yes, I believe it was called the West Side, the one they just tore down. That's the West Side, right? That's the story. That's where it happened. Yep.
Day, not to be able to close this case for Leila's daughter and her parents.
Oh, sorry. Bye, Felicia. So this is the lead investigator in Layla's case. I'm going to play this again straight through so you guys can hear this section of his interview. This is Detective William Clare. He's been the lead investigator of Leila Santelo's case. I will be honest with you guys, like, we've had dealings with Kingsport PD in the past. Some of the things we reported, some of the officers who have responded, and we've heard nothing but good things about Detective Clare from Jennifer, from other people. He is working so hard on her case, and he definitely wants to solve her case. They've gotten the runaround from what I've heard a few times. They've interrogated so many people. Detective Clare is working very hard on this case, and I have nothing but positive things to say about how he has investigated and worked hard on Layla's case. He's doing a good job. It's just he'll say shortly here his frustration with the case and what it is, and he's struggling because nobody's talking. I think that's what it comes down to, is nobody is talking. People who know what happened, and there are people out there who know what happened, and they're not talking.
And of course, I can't imagine what they're going through. But I do know that there is a small group of people.
Oh, wow. A lot of ads.
At Lexus of Kingsport, ownership comes with premium care.
That's why we deliver a buying and service experience
Who are selfish and self-centered, who can come forward and can provide where she's at. And I know who they are. They know who they are.
Did you hear that? Did you hear him say he knows who they are? He knows who the people are who know where Layla is. He knows who knows what happened. They're just, in his words, they're cowards. Yes, they are cowards. They're not willing to come forward. They're being selfish. And he knows. He's admitting here, they know the truth. They know the answers. They need either evidence, hard evidence, or someone coming forward to confirm it. They just need, which sounds like they're very close to being able to make arrests. All they need is someone to go forward. Yeah, Robin. Yeah, if we knew who it was, we would, wouldn't we? Oh, gosh.
But they refuse to cooperate.
As the investigation continues, Jennifer says she'll not give up searching, raising awareness, and holding on to hope.
And the other thing, I will play this bit from Jennifer. You're going to see her in a field, which is really meaningful to me, because most of the time when we see Jennifer, she's walking through fields, forests, searching for her daughter, looking for, if you think about it, literally looking for the bones of her own daughter. And it makes this really powerful, because all the people who ever talk trash about Jennifer, ever say she's in it for the money, trying to build fame on TikTok, she is on a consistent basis working so hard to pull together searches, of course, with the help of her team. Opie, her husband, is also working just as hard trying to pull together these searches. We were going to do a search this weekend, and if you guys check the weather's horrible, so we had to cancel this weekend, I believe, unfortunately, and it's the weekend anniversary of her disappearance, so it's hard not to search. We really wanted to search this weekend, but the weather's not cooperating. So Jennifer being in this field, giving this statement here, for me, when I was watching it, it was very, very powerful. This is a mother who loves her missing daughter more than ever and wants answers so much.
Hope.
Because the last thing that she said to me was, "I love you so much more." And I will hold on to that.
If you're sharing health education, you know the content grind.
Stop sharing. Sorry, I just got a text from Chris. Let me respond to him real fast, because I've got to send him the link to StreamYard on his email. And I can't talk and text at the same time. You guys go ahead and converse amongst yourselves. I will be right back with you in just a minute. Invite guests, copy. Let's see, Gmail. Poor Chris. Chris is new to YouTube. I am doing my best to support him in coming up to speed on what it takes to run a YouTube channel and start a YouTube channel. He's doing fantastic, but it's hard when you've never done YouTube before. He is a drone guy. He's not a YouTube guy. So we're trying to help him out. Is this it? Yep. Here we go. If you haven't subscribed to Chris's channel, by the way, it's in the description of this live. He doesn't have many videos yet. Again, he's trying to make videos. His YouTube channel is Echoes in the Mountains. It's a really cool. I am very jealous of the title of his channel, Echoes in the Mountains. In the description, check it out. He's going to start publishing more videos. But again, he's brand new. He's been a searcher in someone else's case for years, and now he's decided to join the community. I consider him part of the tribe now, and we're trying to help him stay on the good side of YouTube, do the right thing, avoid the drama. We're giving him a lot of guidance on that. Chris is amazing. He's just an amazing guy. He wants to do the right thing, but there has already been drama, unfortunately, that we're going to talk about tonight. He's already facing being a YouTuber now, that we're gonna go over with Chris. And there's the link. So prayers for Jennifer, for her family. It is sad. The interview with Detective Claire was sad. Hey Ellie, good to see you. Thanks for joining tonight. We're just getting started. We just covered the update on Leila Santelo's case. And Chris is going to be here in just a minute. So while we're waiting for Chris, there's something new that I did want to share with you too, before we dive into the things we're going to cover tonight. Just so you all know, all of you are new, who are coming in here fresh. You don't have to back up unless you want to review the Leila update, Leila Santelo update we just covered. What we're going to talk about tonight are 4 major things. We've been on really good terms with Don and Candus since Christmas. And when I say really good terms, I just mean actually talking, texting, every now and then sending text messages. Don and Candus should have learned by now that they should have seen by now how we handle communications with family of the missing. I've never put anything without permission. I've never put anything. Awesome. Thank you, Natasha. I've never put anything that I've conversed with Dawn, any of my text messages, any of my phone calls, no recordings of phone calls. I've never put anything Don and Candus have told me on YouTube. I had a long conversation with them at one point after the whole signs fiasco, where Don and Candus, where Candus was on photographs putting up flyers, and some people were angry. They said it was just for show. And I had a conversation with them on the phone about it. And I actually told them, I'll be honest with you all, I just said, you know what, if there's anything you all can do right now, if it's anything at all you can do, it's definitely not going on YouTube and chatting with YouTubers and getting into all that drama right now. Hanging flyers, going out there and actually just trying to put effort into getting Summer back. What better thing can a mother and father do? Even if you think they're guilty or not, what better thing can they be doing? And I gave them kudos for doing that. There are a lot of people who say that you shouldn't even communicate with them because they're guilty. And I told them in that phone call that sometimes I said, hey, Don, you know what? Sometimes Jen and I will entertain a theory that goes down the road of Candus. If Candus did it, where would she have gone? You know, you guys have seen those videos where I've done a whole play of, hey, if she went to the Exxon gas station at 5:30, where are all the locations where something could have happened around there? And I told them we entertain those scenarios, but we've never said 100%. We've never said Don and Candus are guilty. Never said that. We're exploring a theory, and we've never said that they're innocent. And Don literally said to me on the phone, I will share this. He said, and Ryan, I appreciate that about you. Said, I appreciate that about you. You're one of the channels that have never attacked us, never said we're guilty, even though you do that, you know, you do go down the theories. And he said he appreciated that. But something happened recently, and Chris is going to talk about it. We're going to talk about it. But all of a sudden, communication stopped. And it was, I believe, because of outside forces, which has happened once before with Don and Candus, where other people from the outside tell them things that aren't true. And Don and Candus believe it. And unfortunately, Don gets angry. He's gotten angry with me before until he found out that what he heard about us wasn't true. Heard about something we allegedly said or did. And so I believe that's what's happened in this case. I've got text messages. I'm not going to share them, but showing that we were communicating up until mid-June and just texting back and forth every now and then. On June 15th, I sent Don and Candus a text message saying, I'll tell you actually, we've never had any bad blood, no negative comments, no negative anything toward Don and Candus. Even though a lot of people believe negative things about them, Jen and I have never taken a negative stance because we will not do that to family, to parents of a missing child, no matter how many people believe they're guilty. And so here's the last thing that happened. I said on June 13th, this was 2 days before Summer's anniversary of disappearing. I said, just want to let you and Candus know you guys are in our prayers. I know this time of year is hard for you all. So just wanted to send you guys some positive vibes from Jen and I. They're parents of a missing child. And this is what we do. I'll do this. I do this for Jennifer. I do this for Ethan Boyd's mother. I just, when that time comes around, the missing anniversary, we will just let them know we're thinking about them and we're praying for them. And he said in response, thanks very much. We were on good terms. This was June 13th. June 16th, he sent me a reel, just a reel from Facebook. Every now and then he sends me things about CPS. You guys all know his theories around CPS. And he sent me a reel. This was related to just a thing about people moving to East Tennessee. It was nothing. It was just I don't know, a thing he was sending me. All of a sudden, this was last week. All of a sudden, he's not talking to us. Don't know why. We haven't done anything. All we have done, you guys, is connected with Chris, who searched with EquiSearch on the very first days of the disappearance of Summer's disappearance. I don't know why all of a sudden us connecting with Chris is a problem, but it seems to be, and I don't know why. I would like to know why. I would like to know who has a problem with it. I would like to know who has a problem with Chris doing what he's doing, because he wants to continue searching for Summer. Hold on a second. Chris is having okay. Wrong email. I hope I did send it to some random person. Copy. Bear with me, guys. Chris is going to be here soon. Compose. Paste. StreamYard. Technical difficulties. Copy. Send. Yeah. What would you guess? Chris is a great guy. He's what's that? Jen just yelled an inside joke. I'm not going to share. Send. Come on, Chris. We got a lot to get into tonight. The 4 things we're going to cover tonight. That why Don and Candus seemingly have just decided they don't want to communicate anymore, only because we're working with Chris. I can't think of any other reason, because we had our live and all of a sudden they're not talking to us. We had our live with Chris and Jean Robinson, and all of a sudden Don and Candus aren't talking to us. There's something screwy going on, and I'm not sure what it is. Sierra 14, very good question. How much weight do you put into the cotton cave? Did a bit of research using, oh, I love it, OSINT tools. Very cool. I don't know enough to refine my parameters. Number one, I love people who use OSINT tools. That's freaking cool. I would love to know what your research turned up, but how much weight do I put in a cotton cave? Not a lot, not a ton. I would say like on a scale of 0 to 100 as far as importance related to Summer Wells caves, something being in a cave near Cotton Pass, probably I'd put it at a 30% likelihood of turning up something important. And I would go even higher on like 60 to 70% that probably it's the money. I almost, and Glenn and I have talked about this quite a bit. We almost have a feeling like he was trying to hide the $10,000 or whatever it was. I'm not sure if it was 10,000 that was on him. He was terrified. He was also very under the influence of something. And so he was paranoid and probably could have been trying to hide the money that he thought somebody was going to steal. Instead of going home and putting that money at home, I think maybe he wanted to hide it in the mountains. And that could very likely be what's out there. And I consider that 10,000 to be evidence. So if we find that cave and we find thousands of dollars in the cave, that is clear evidence for law enforcement related to Cotton's unaliving, and we'll turn it in as evidence because who knows? I don't think they can fingerprint money. I'm not sure. I'm not a forensics person, but at least it's evidence that could help them, lead them in the direction of what actually happened. If there's no money in a cave near there, if there's nothing, do I think that Summer could be in a cave in Laurel Run? Very, very, very slight possibility, but that would imply that Cotton actually was involved and knew something about it. And just talking to the family, I just don't think that's the case, but it's not off the table, you guys. Like nothing's off the table. Oh, hey, here's Chris. Here's Chris. How you doing, buddy?
Fantastic. How are you, Ryan?
I'm doing good. I somehow stalled long enough.
Good evening, everyone. How's chat going tonight?
Chat is going pretty mad here. We got a lot of the tribe here tonight. Hey, Glenn. Oh, man. Glenn is a truck driver, I believe, from Ontario, Canada. We have so many cool individuals, personalities from around the world in this community, and it's cool to see them coming on every live, showing up. Hold that side. Jody C. Brown said Fred was a creeper with a backpack around the holler, stealing stuff. If Cotton had that money, that would explain paranoia. Yeah. I mean I would be paranoid.
Yeah, I don't want to put names out there, but I have in doing some of my investigations, I have heard the same thing.
That Fred was a creeper?
That quote, we're glad he's gone from the neighborhood. We don't have to lock our stuff up anymore.
Yeah, yes, absolutely. That's definitely what we heard from Glenda, Steve, a bunch of other locals. Yeah, it's crazy. So I guess for starters, I gave everyone a little bit of background about the whole scenario around Don and Candus mysteriously stopped talking to Jen and I right after our live that you and I did with Gene.
Right. So
what are your thoughts?
That's very unfortunate. First of all, I want to apologize about the my camera. My setup's not the best right now. But hopefully going forward, we're gonna get a better setup and look a little bit better on live. But
actually, your lighting is good.
Oh, thank you.
Yep.
So going back to everyone knows my backstory and knows that I worked with the private investigators for a while, for a long time, and I had thought that we were going to continue to work together. My goal for this was that possibly me, Ryan, and the private investigators could continue to work together and
Yeah.
towards the common goal of finding Summer. However, after after we done our live here with Gene, what, about a week ago, it seemed like things had changed. The attitude that I was getting from the private investigators had changed a little bit, and I was told by the PIs that I was no longer allowed on the Wells property. I had been on the property multiple times. I had flown on the property multiple times. I had utmost respect for any property that I go to, anyone that I'm, anyone that I'm trying to work for, any property that I'm on. I respect with everything that I can. There is I can't think of a reason why things would change. It kind of sitting
And
here
they told
talking
you
about it.
they told you that, right? They told you that you weren't welcome.
Yes, I was told by
And
the PIs that I was no longer welcome on the Wells property.
so everyone, I was looking at the text messages from Chris, and I do know, hey baby kisses, good to see you. I do know that when Chris told me this, I looked at the timing of the chat with Don, and around the time when Don all of a sudden stopped texting us was exactly around the time when Chris said that he was told he wasn't welcome. Who told you you weren't welcome? Was it Don and Candus, or?
The PI said that Don said I was no longer welcome on his property anymore.
He said Don said that. Interesting.
Yeah. So I tried to reach out to Don over a text message myself. I didn't get a reply. I would love to speak to Don. I've done nothing but work extremely hard out in the heat, the elements, climbing these mountains. I've done nothing but be professional in this case. There is, in my opinion, there's no reason why I shouldn't be allowed to continue to give 100% and work towards finding his daughter.
I mean, I don't see why they would turn down expertise to keep looking. It seemed like the impression I got was the last time I talked to Don and Candus on the phone that now Don doesn't believe searching. So he has a theory, which you probably know, around CPS abducted Summer. I'm not gonna pros or cons about that theory. That's a theory that someone abducted her, but so he definitely believes that searching isn't going to find her. However, there's no reason to not search. Like, why would you not bother, especially if someone like you is volunteering or us is volunteering? It makes no sense to say no. Who are they? Are they hired, the PIs, or are they just pro bono?
No, and the PIs, again, sitting here, even after what's happened, I have nothing good to say, nothing but good things to say about them. They worked for free. Everything that they done, as far as my knowledge, was for free. So yeah, it's really all I know. I mean, I hate that this has happened. I hate that.
So yeah, I know Cher believes Don and Candus know. She's on the side of the fence that they're definitely aware of what happened to Summer.
Right.
But we have a huge community here too. Probably half of the people here don't believe the Wells are involved. So, we, as searchers, we don't take sides. We just want to find the missing person, right? So
yeah. And that's what, I want to kind of to come back in there, Ryan. And one thing I want to add to this is no matter what, no matter who tells me that I can't be on a property or I can be on a property, that changes nothing.
Yeah.
Because ultimately the goal is to find this beautiful missing little girl. And I'm going to continue to do what I can to work towards that goal, no matter how long it takes, no matter how much work it takes. So the PIs can tell me you can't do this or you can't do that. Don can tell me you can do this or you can't do that. And, you know, if this wasn't YouTube, I'd have a few choice words for, you know, for them. I apologize, but.
Hey, my wrench, Chris, you and I are the same type. So that's how we feel about every case. I mean, bottom line is we're working for the missing person. And
Absolutely.
If anyone doesn't want to cooperate, we're volunteers. Like you said in the video, in the search video in Laurel Run, we're not law enforcement. We're doing this out of our own pocket, our own goodwill to try to find the missing person. So ultimately, if the family doesn't want to cooperate, if law enforcement says no, there's public places you can take off from a drone, and especially your drone has a whole wide range. So it's just unfortunate because there was nothing negative happening. Zero negative things happening with Don and Candus and us or you. I mean, you never even had the opportunity to talk to Don yet, and all of a sudden he's against you, and it just doesn't make sense. Do you see value in me sharing what I learned today from my inside source? You want to talk about it, or?
Sure.
Okay. So we don't know what this means. We don't know why the PI took this approach, and I don't think it was the main PI. It was one of them. But anyway, we you guys know us. We know people. We know people in the community. We know people who know Don and Candus, who are friends with Don and Candus, and we just started asking around, like, what do you know? What have you heard from Don and Candus? But why they would all of a sudden have something negative about Chris or us. And we confirmed it did in fact come from the one of them. I'm not going to say which one, but one of the PI. So, and this is secondhand, so I can't say that's a fact, but if it is true, does that change your opinion about about CNC, about the PI, knowing they're talking that way about you to Don and Candus?
You know, at the end of the day, Ryan, it doesn't. CNC, you know, I helped CNC for the longest time, and you know they've always been good to me. And the one thing, if they were sitting in front of me right now, and we knew for a fact that they were trying to sabotage me, or that they were saying things to Don and Candus to make Don and Candus, not want to speak to me. The only thing that I could say is, shame on you. I'm sorry that, I apologize that you feel that way. Because at the end of the day, we're on the same team still. And we should all be working towards the same goal, not trying to push each other apart. And, this isn't one person's case or another person's case. I just want to help find Summer.
Yep, I agree. That's why the moment you reached out to us, that's why Jen and I were like 100%, especially. And it's one thing if you're just a random YouTuber who's had a channel and wants to cover her case, you're completely different. I mean, YouTube, you're like, yeah, I'm going to do YouTube, but I have been covering Summer's case. You've been doing it in the background since the beginning. Nobody can say you haven't been on the case since day one. You've been boots on the ground since day one. Yeah. So in my opinion, you're probably one of the most important people who should be covering her case. What do you think it is? What do you think it is that one of them, whichever one it is, with CNC Investigations, what do you think it is that gives them so much heartburn about the fact that you're just going to be sharing your story about your searches on YouTube? What's the evil about sharing it on YouTube, do you think?
Ryan, I've thought about that, and I can't. I'm not sure. I can't pinpoint that because at the end of the day, and when I spoke to them originally about this, my thing was, why not keep Summer's name out there in any way possible? Even if that meant on YouTube, even if that meant telling my story, talking about the searches, you know, talking about things that I've seen, things that I've been through. At this point, it's hard to really hinder the investigation. Now, if we're talking about a search that took place yesterday, with law enforcement,
Right.
then I could see maybe not speaking about it.
Mhm.
But I don't understand, what it is that that the issue is that they don't really want me putting out there. But my thing is I'm going to speak Summer's name loud and clear as many times as I can until that little girl is found, until closure is brought. I'm going to continue to say her name.
I think that is it's not a fresh case. I'm not going to call it a cold case, but we're going over 5 years at this point. So honestly, anything that you can keep anything you've seen or any information that private. I don't TBI knows probably about most of what you've seen. I'm assuming anything important has already gone to TBI, right? So
yeah,
you talking about things that you noticed or things that you think are out of place publicly, the only thing in a cold case, the thing that can help is it could trigger memories. It could trigger somebody else out there,
yes,
maybe, right? Maybe thinking, oh crap,
absolutely.
that's a connection. And then they could report something to TBI that could maybe eventually break the case at some point. So it seems valuable to me, but not everyone agrees that it belongs on YouTube. So you can't convince everyone.
Cases have been solved this way, Ryan.
Mhm.
Like, so why not?
So what do you think? Do you want to dive into things you've seen?
Absolutely. Let's dive into some things that I've seen. So with that being said, let's I'm going to start from the very beginning.
Okay.
I've got a map that I'm going to pull up here in just a moment for everyone. This is a SAR topo map showing my tracks as I searched for the very first time that I searched for Summer Wells. So let me see here how I could share my screen.
What do you think the relative basic date of this was?
September 11th, 2021.
Oh wow, 2021.
Yes, sir.
We're going way back then.
We are.
Hey, Another Realm, good to see you.
So what I'm going to do here, let's see.
I agree,
Gotta learn how to work this, Ryan.
Oh, yeah, hold on. I can share it to the stage. There you go.
Okay. So I'm going to upload a KML real quick to my Google Earth. It's going to show.
Hey, Chris, real quick.
My
hold
tracks.
on. Sorry. Let me. I believe TBI is involved in charge. Do you know? So, Chris, do you actually know? Is it still Hawkins County, or is it completely switched over to TBI? Do you have any idea?
I'm pretty sure that it's a combination of TBI and Hawkins County. Several agencies are working the case still.
Okay, thank you. Hey, Rising Height.
I'm pretty sure. Pretty sure.
Okay, that makes sense.
Okay, so let's see here. We're going to start. We're going to start right here. And
I hate Chris, I hate interrupting you. We're getting a bunch of good questions in chat. I apologize.
Yeah. Let's go ahead and
keep this up though. Don't. I'm not going to close this.
Okay.
What do you know? What Don and Candus are getting from the PIs? Like what activity has happened in the past year or two? Like, do you know what is going on?
I don't know about the past year, but when we were working very closely together, as far as I knew, it was locating places of interest that needed to be searched and bringing in as much resources as possible to search those places.
And they've been working with the wells, right? Like communicating with the wells?
Yes.
Okay. That's good to know. All right. Go ahead. Sorry about that.
Right. So as you can see here, we're going to mark this on the map so everyone can kind of see. This is our last known location. So this is where Summer was last seen on 110 Ben Hill Road. This is the property. We're going to kind of turn our map around a little bit. As you can see, Ben Hill curves around here. You got their driveway. And the red lines on here is the tracks that I took. This is my Sartopo tracks from September 11th, 2021 when we came in to search.
Okay.
So I'm going to take you on up Ben Hill Road here. I'm going to zoom out just a little bit. And here we are over the Gorley's property. This is at the end of Ben Hill Road.
That's Redmond's, right?
Sorry, this is Redmond's. I apologize. Yeah. You're right.
Okay.
Gorley's is back down here. So when you get to the end of Ben Hill Road, this is the Redmond's property.
Yeah. And just to clarify, and for Sarah 14, I'm not sure. Are you able to put Google Earth like orient it as far as north, south, east, west? I'm not sure which is which in this case. I've been here a million times, but I can't remember.
Right.
I don't know if you
so
can,
now we are oriented north, south, east, and west. So north is going to be the top, south is down, east and west.
So Ben Hill generally goes southeast, essentially. Mostly south.
Yes.
Okay, got it.
So I do want to kind of zoom in here a little bit. Back when we were searching then, if anyone's seen the property now, Mr. Redmond's property has a fence around it. He's kind of extended his perimeter, so it's hard to even get up in here. But back then, the fence wasn't there. This was free reign. You could drive up in here, not a problem at all. Now, let's see here. I'll take that sidebar off a little bit. There was a gate here, but this gate was mainly left open, and it took you up on a trail that was big enough for most vehicles to go on. Now, you couldn't take a little Toyota Corolla up through here or anything, but most people around this area, they drive four-wheel drives anyways.
Right.
So you come up through here.
And these red lines are your tracks on September 2021.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so you actually went past that gate, past the Redmonds.
Yeah, absolutely.
Down Limestone Branch. That's huge because that's an area that a lot of people have mentioned to us as important.
Yep. So you can see we continue to go up in here. We stopped a little right here. We flew a few missions right in here. We keep going. And I'll zoom out so you all can see the bigger picture here in just a few. We're going way up in here. And this is where we stop and we work a lot of missions from right here.
Okay.
So right here, there is a side access road that runs up through here.
Hey, Chris, could you do me a favor and zoom out real quick just to see how far into the woods you are? So you're what, about halfway through the valley there?
Here you go, Ryan.
That's a long distance, man. Wow. That's amazing.
We're about a half mile up
Okay.
into from the Redmond's property, and let's see. Roughly a mile and a quarter from Ben Hill Road as the bird flies, or as the crow flies, you want to call it.
Now, from the Redmonds across I'm going to call that the valley. Are you about halfway to the other side of the valley?
I would say so, yeah.
Okay. You're pretty far in there at this point.
Yes. So, we'll zoom out a little bit further here in a minute, because there's some more that I want to discuss as we get in there. This is a side access road that goes up through here. So there are many access, many small roads that go off through here, through the woods. But this was a pretty big one. And one thing that I want to talk about and kind of lead up to this, this was huge. We're up in here. We're with someone from the Hawkins County Sheriff's Department. Me and Gene, we're flying several missions. And as we're flying, you can hear what I would describe as a vehicle somewhere in the woods.
Okay.
Kept hearing it. And at one point when we were flying our missions, a truck, and guys, look, this has been so long ago. I can tell you that it wasn't a red truck because I would remember, but it was some sort of truck. A truck comes down this trail.
People are talking about the TP, which I think is where the you guys, I think that was the Light Hollow direction, the TP story, which is a totally different area that Chris is talking about. Light Hollow is behind Fred's property, and I believe that's where that whole TP toilet thing was that everyone's talking about. And welcome, Lips. Thanks for joining us. Sorry, Chris. I'm going to keep interrupting probably when there's comments, but keep on going.
Absolutely. We're going to have a lot of questions here in a minute, Ryan. There's going to be so many questions come up.
Yeah, I'm sure.
We're going to try our best to get to all of them. Truck comes down this trail, and they get just to the point to where they see what's going on down here. I know that they can see us because all of a sudden we can see them. The truck stops and immediately starts backing up out of view.
What? I didn't realize it was that trail, Chris. I thought it was down further on Winston. Oh my God. So up from wherever that leads into the mountains, the truck was coming from that location.
Yes. So they're back up in the mountains. They see us, they stop, they back up, and they leave. The officer that was with us seemed like he was a little concerned with this. Me and Gene were there, and he seemed like he was a little concerned with why this truck was coming our way.
Yeah, in the middle of nowhere. Lips, this was September of 2021 when this happened. And you had a Hawkins County law enforcement officer with you.
Absolutely do.
He saw the truck and what did he say?
He seemed very concerned.
Oh
he didn't say much. He had his hand on his hip like he was, ready to to take action or whatever he needed to do in case this truck kept coming. And I don't remember his exact words, but it was something along the lines of, there's a lot of things that take place up in these woods, and we don't want to mess with them.
Really? Sorry. So hold on. Somebody just asked an important question. Yes, Glenn, you can follow Chris. Chris has a new channel. He's getting started. No videos yet except for a short, but he's going to get going soon. He is Echoes in the Mountains. Did I say that right, Chris?
Yes, sir.
Echoes in the Mountains. Check it out. It's in the description, so make sure you subscribe to Chris. He's going to be covering a lot of stories like this, a lot of content that just his experiences searching for summer, and of course our continued searches for summer. So Chris, if you think about this scenario, that right there, you've got it mapped, you've got your track on September 21, 2021. You know where you were, and you know exactly where you saw that truck. And if it was headed toward you, then it was coming from that. If you go where your cursor is, a little south of it, there's some kind of dark hollow, it looks like.
Yep.
Do you think that this was relevant? Do you think this was anything, this situation?
I don't know. It is kind of concerning looking back on it now that the sheriff's department didn't think that this should be investigated. That
Really?
this shouldn't be, and I don't know. Maybe it's something that afterwards they called in. I'm not sure. Or maybe they took note of it. I don't know. But I do know that this truck came down this trail until they saw a police officer and a search team.
Yeah.
And they stopped and backed up.
Right. I mean, if
in
I
my
was
opinion, they should have been stopped. They should have been questioned,
I agree.
at least about what they were doing.
If somebody sees law enforcement and they turn around, it's definitely questionable. What were they doing?
What happens when me and you pull up to a roadblock and we turn around and avoid it, Ryan?
They take notice. They take notice.
They come after you.
Yeah. Yep.
So if you look around in through here, Ryan.
Did you guys drone that hollow we're talking about, that dark area? Oh man. Okay, I see where you're going now. I'll shut up and let you keep going, Chris.
So if you come up through here, there's a lot of roads that you can't see under these trees. And then there's areas that you can.
Oh, that's wild.
And when you start going out, you start seeing some of these trees. Or you start seeing some of these roads that poke through the trees. And when we zoom out a little bit, you see even more. You see
man,
little spots. You see areas of trees that have been cleared, and
some objects.
You even see
weird
little buildings here. Now,
wait, Chris, I'm sorry, man. You just caught my eye right there. What the hell is that?
This building?
Is that a building? It looks like a billboard of some sort. Oh, that's a building. Okay. Man, that's weird.
Yep. Now, I don't know about you, Ryan, but I'm looking at all these trails, and I'm looking at this building. I'm looking at, these dark spots, these dark collars, these, so many places to go.
Yeah.
And then I'm thinking about a truck that comes down this trail, stops, backs up, and leaves. And you got to wonder, look at all this land. This is a lot of land.
Yeah.
And there's not a search crew on this earth that can walk this area inch by inch, foot by foot, and cover it 100%.
No, not that amount of land. No way.
Now, think about that, chat. We got a truck, an unknown truck. The police officer there at the time says that a lot of activity takes place up here that we didn't want to be a part of. I'm not really sure if that's why they didn't stop, talk to them, or what. Could have been because, hey, we were a little old search team with one police officer and one gun out here in the middle of nowhere in Beach Creek.
Yeah. Hey, Glitterbomb, you are not blocked anymore. I think you were probably like a few months ago. I've unblocked you. You're here. It's all good. So Chris, I misunderstood you when you and I were talking in chat up until this live. I assumed you were talking about the trail that kept going straight.
Right.
You're talking, and this is very compelling. You're talking about the direction the truck was coming.
Yes.
And I didn't realize, could you go back to, you traced the trails somewhat. It looks like you traced those trails and it came out on the Fall Branch side.
Okay. So let's talk about that next, Ryan. And this is
Sorry, we gotta do some business here. Mods, can you share Chris's channel in the chat real quick? It looks like people are having a hard time finding it. It's also in the description. Just make sure you check it out. Chris is already exploding. It's only been a week, 2 weeks. He's got 100 subscribers and growing. So Chris is going to have some really cool content coming soon. So yeah, I really want to, what you're getting at, Chris, is that if there was a truck out there, that means that there wasn't only one way out of Ben Hill Road. There was a way to get a vehicle out another way, apparently.
Absolutely. So
let's explore
just
that.
For reference, we're gonna put this here on our map. So actually, I did not mean to do that.
Did you get the color of the truck?
Unfortunately, I didn't. Ryan, this was the very first search I took place in, and things like that just didn't catch my eye as much as what they do now.
Okay. Thank you, Cher. Appreciate that. Yeah, I understand, Chris, because you're focused on trying to find drone targets, right? So you see a truck coming at you, you're like, what's going on, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So we're gonna put that there for everyone in the chat to see. So again, we've got last known location here. Most people think this right here is Beach Creek, and then you turn on to Ben Hill. Most people think that you come in, this is a dead end, you can't go anywhere, you have to come back out. One way in, one way out. That is not the truth. If you can continue past Redmond's property up into the trail, this access trail, you can clearly see on Google Maps already, this is a road that leads all the way through the mountain. All the way through the mountain. And I'm going to zoom us in over here. We pass up this pond that comes through here. And it leads out on a Broom Hollow Road.
So you were able to confirm that's the exit point if you keep going straight.
Yep.
You just showed something though, Chris, that implies there's another exit point though where the truck was coming from, right?
Well, let's go back and take a look at that, Ryan.
Because that right turn, you just showed trails and roads that are going to another property on the Fall Branch side.
Yep. There's many trails and roads that go through here. The truck was sighted right here. You can come on back down. And if you look closely, it does look like that those trails, as a matter of fact, you can see one right here. As a matter of fact, we can trace this one right here.
That's wild.
All the way down. You see
it?
You're
right.
Look at that, Ryan.
I would think you'd need a truck or a Jeep at least, but there's definitely a trail.
You would.
Yeah. Or one of those, like a side-by-side even.
Yep. A side-by-side would 100% do it.
And every trail, whether you take the path you just showed or this one, they all arrive on the Fall Branch side.
They do. Yep.
A lot of people are asking about the truck, Chris.
Yeah, yeah. Go ahead. Let's hear some questions, Ryan. I'll see what I can do to answer
Well,
them.
one person said, for the ones curious of the truck being spoken, it is Tony Lights. He owns property beyond where you're talking about, a cabin on top of the mountain. I don't know if that's true. I haven't looked at tax records for the truck sighting pin right there. I looked at tax records for the other direction that Chris was talking about that comes on Fall Branch. If you follow Limestone Branch, you threw me for a loop tonight, Chris. I did not know that the truck was coming from that direction.
Yeah.
So I don't want to throw any names out there. I don't know if that's I'm not doubting you, Steel 4680, but I just don't want to throw any names under the bus or anything. But that's interesting. I don't know what the tax records show for that location. We'll have to check it out. Ever Diana says, where does the road the truck turned around on lead to? I think you just covered that, right? That's goes to Fall Branch.
Yeah. So let's go back here. Truck sighting right here. You come back through here. It's going to come out right here. It can come through here. The problem here is you don't see some of these routes, but actually you're going to come down through here. You can't see this part of it because of the trees.
Oh yeah, you can kind of see the opening though. You
Yep,
can see
you can.
somewhat of an opening. Yep. That it usually indicates a road.
It's going to come down through here.
Oh, dude, that's wild. Wow. Look at that.
You can see right here where it opens back up, and this is where you can see the road starts again.
So there's not just two that we know of. There's several ways to get out, and all of them lead to Fall Branch area.
Yep. So you come over here. This comes all the way down, ultimately out to another road.
Oh man, that's crazy.
These are all roads, guys. All of these trails come out to roads. And a side-by-side, a four-wheel drive can have you out on these roads and across this mountain in a matter of quickly 20 minutes or so, I would say.
And all of them end up on the Horton Highway area, which eventually gets you pretty quickly to Interstate 81, which is kind of scary.
Here, let's zoom out. Let's zoom out here. Truck
sighting. Yeah, right there. Horton Highway.
81.
Damn. Wow. Oh, man. I mean, I don't know. Should we... People have read a lot into vehicles that showed up in the area around Ben Hill Road. The thing is, you were searching, so June, July, August, September. This is 3 months later, and there's a mysterious truck coming from a direction that actually connects to Fall Branch if you go far enough.
Right.
Did the law enforcement officer that was with you, Hawkins County officer, and I know you mentioned he was like, well, that's weird. That's just what's going on. Did you get the sense that they followed up on that, or did he take it seriously, in your opinion?
No, I did not get the sense that he was taking it seriously. Of course, you know, he could have followed up on it at a later point. I'm not sure. But to me, it seemed like he was more concerned about maybe not putting the search team in danger, and not confronting this person at the time.
Oh, really?
Now, who's to say that when the search team left, that he didn't tell his superiors, follow up with his superiors and say, hey, this happened, and that they didn't go back out and look at it? I don't know.
Did you get any pictures with your drone? Were you flying at that point?
I was not flying my drone at that point on those missions. I was assisting Gene with some of his flights.
Okay.
I am going to ask Gene if he still... Actually, let me see. I'm gonna see if we can get some of those.
That would be amazing if he's willing to share. I mean, he could have captured. And we are getting questions about color. I know I might have asked you that before, Chris, if you remember any details about what the truck looked like. Was it old model, new model, color, anything at all? Do you remember?
Probably looked like an older model GMC or an older model Chevrolet.
A Chevy, huh?
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. I don't know, Ellie, what was said about Don driving down Horton Highway. If somebody remembers that, it would be interesting. I don't remember that.
So from the truck sighting alone to Interstate 81, you're only 2.7 miles. Doesn't seem
As
that
the bird,
far when you
as the bird flies. Yeah, yeah. But you can see how the roads connect. Like if you can make it to that first road, which I think is Horton Highway, there's connector roads that go to, actually, I think that's Horton Highway on the right side. And getting to the interstate's not that far. There's an exit just that right there. So
look at this. So let's talk about this theory right here, Ryan. Let's throw something out here while we're talking about it. Let's say you have this is a case. Let's say that this is a case of someone who has been following the wells. They staked out the property. They've been watching Summer for weeks, months, maybe even longer.
mm-hmm.
And they know all about this land. And they start to, they start to plan what they're going to do to kidnap poor little Summer. So let's say they got a 4-wheel drive, or maybe they even have a red truck.
Yeah, right.
So they can. This could very well explain why the red truck disappeared and was not seen anywhere. So they know that you can come up here on, let's see, Broom Hollow Road. You turn right here. You go up through here.
Yep.
And this turns into an access road all the way across the mountain. Takes you all the way down through here. And now,
so you guys, sorry, you guys asking about the color of the truck. Chris doesn't remember the color. Did you say it was older or newer? I missed it. I'm sorry.
It was an older model truck.
Older model. He doesn't remember the color, unfortunately. But it was an older model truck.
So you come out through here, and now you are here at 110 Ben Hill Road. You stake out the place, you wait for them to arrive home, and at a prime opportunity, a kidnapper takes poor little Summer, lures her off the mountain some way, puts her in their truck, their 4-wheel drive, their side-by-side, whatever it may be, and takes her back the same route.
The other direction. Yeah.
The other direction.
Hey, I see
and
you.
You could have her out across this mountain in less than 30 minutes.
That escape route. So yeah, you're turning my world upside down, Chris, because all the discussions we've had, I know we've talked about things like split the gap behind Gorley's, maybe somebody headed in that direction on foot or with a horse. And the dogs, the law enforcement dogs, tracked her scent down to the bottom of the road. So I think Michelle After Dark and I think we're probably one of the few YouTubers who have gone down the route I may be separating from Michelle at this point, but up until now, I've thought nobody left Ben Hill. I think they went in, and then I thought maybe because the footprints and everything went behind Gorley's that they did the whole split the gap thing, went toward Fields Road, but that was on the assumption that there was no other escape route. If you wanted to avoid the main road, Beach Creek, and you wanted to get the other direction, you want to go into the holler. But this opens up a whole lot of possibilities now, because if you can get from Ben Hill to the Fall Branch area, that opens up a whole other set of possibilities. It's not a
Once you
dead
get
end
over to
road.
Horton, yeah, it's
So
not.
I think what you're confirming tonight is Ben Hill Road is not a dead end road,
100% not.
right? From what you've seen on the ground when you were out there, about half a mile to a mile after Redmond's, it's not a dead end road.
Yep.
And you literally saw a truck coming toward you from the mountains.
Yeah.
So
So if anything, that confirms that a truck is capable of driving up and down these roads. We took a truck up the road, guys.
Yeah.
To get there, we didn't hike this. We took a truck up in there, and it was easy. We drove it straight there.
That's crazy. That is crazy. Here's the thing too, Chris, and this is kind of blowing my mind. I'm thinking out loud here. But if you trace your path and follow the route, theoretically, if somebody did go down past where you've got the truck sighting, either they came, let's say they were trying to escape Ben Hill, they went either the route that the truck you saw was coming from, or they went down Limestone all the way. Either way, they're going to land on that road right there, which I think is
Either
Horton
way.
Highway, right?
Not quite. Either way, they are going to come out over here to Taylor Road, which brings you out to Chimney Top Loop.
Okay.
Which takes you right out to Horton Highway.
Horton Highway. Now here's
the zoom out a little bit.
Chris, here's the wild bit I'm going to throw in here real quick.
Yeah.
Do something for me. Follow that road where they would have come out. Go up the map here. Scroll and scroll until you get to where that Horton Highway intersects with Interstate 81.
That's
so
exactly where I was going.
Right?
That's exactly where we was going.
Great minds think alike.
Yep. So you got a couple options here. So I want to go over both options real quick.
Okay.
For you, Ryan.
All right. Go for it. Go for it.
So Horton Highway is going to come down through here. And you can either turn off right here. You can take this road around here. Come down through here on Geraldstown Road. You're now on Geraldstown.
Yep.
And you can get right on the interstate right there. But now that's a little bit, it's a little bit longer. So what you can, the easier way is just to keep going down Horton Highway. Follow my mouse, chat. Follow my mouse. We're going to come down Horton. We're turning here. We're not turning off at all. We're just following Horton Highway. We're going to come down through here. I've rode this route many times. This is a very fast road. There's not many cars on this road, guys. Horton Highway there's just not many cars. And let's see. You'll keep coming down Horton Highway here. And this seems like a long ways, but it's not. Like I said, I've been down this road very quick. All the way to Baileyton. You'll make a left right here onto none other than Van Hill Road.
Maybe.
And right there's the interstate.
Yeah. There is one other possibility, Chris.
Okay. Sure.
All right. So instead of going south, go north from where they would have come out. All right.
Absolutely. Let's
because
do that.
we have a piece of actual evidence, and if you keep going north, eventually you get to the Exxon gas station. You know where that is?
On the Horton Highway?
On 81, or 26, I can't remember which. If you can do me a favor, and if you can search the address for Exxon gas station, Sullivan Parkway. And this,
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're going to come down the Horton Highway. By the way, first of all, truck siding. You're going to come out. This is one of the main exit points from the mountain here that's going to come over from Ben Hill, right here. You're going to come down here. Bam, you're right here on Horton Highway.
Yep.
So you come down. Now it's turning into Sullivan Gardens Parkway.
There it is.
This is where it turns from a 2-lane into a 4-lane.
Eventually it reaches the interstate at some point here.
It does. Yeah.
There
You come right down here.
There it is.
And right here's your gas station.
So Chris, let's do this as an exercise because
Sure.
I'm thinking timing. Now, there's a story that Candus was seen by Chad Arnold at Fred Hill's property around 4:30, and we've got a very reliable source at the gas station saying 5:30 she was there. And I'm not blaming Candus. I'm not saying Candus has anything to do with it, but I'm just saying we have a witness saying right there where your cursor is roughly at was the Exxon gas station where she was seen at 5:30. Now, the amount of time to get from Ben Hill Road, if you take off-road and you go the path that you're talking about now, let's figure out how much time that takes. Because that would be interesting to see how long it would take if you go past the Redmonds, cut through the mountain, and go on the Fall Branch side. Is there a way we can do that?
Yeah, absolutely. Let's see. 779 Oak Glen Circle.
And I don't know, Mary. I have not had a chance to talk to Chad Arnold. He's one I've loved to interview. Haven't had a chance to talk to him, so I'm not going to accuse him of being anything. It would be nice to talk to him, though. If he happens to watch this, love to talk to him. Completely unbiased. Just love to know what he knows. What's the easiest way to do it? Like measuring the distance?
I'm pulling it up right here for you.
Okay.
Give me just a moment, and I'll share the screen.
Hey, Kiki, good to see you. It's been a while. I'll tell you guys, Kiki 2025 True Crime, she's been very active in also investigating Summer's case, other cases, but Kiki, people don't realize how hard you've been working on trying to get interviews, trying to get, people willing to talk. Kiki, unfortunately, her channel, I wish there needs to be more people following her because she is doing some really good work. She's reached out to us with some contacts that are willing to talk, and keep doing what you're doing, Kiki. I think your channel is going to blow up. You're doing amazing. So thank you for what you do. Really good research.
Okay, Ryan. You should be able to see the map on the screen at this point. Can the stream see that?
Yes. There we go.
This is the exit point that comes out over here. 779 Oak Glen Circle. As a matter of fact, we let's come down a little bit further. Oak Glen Community Center.
Could one of the mods put thank you? I see you. She's on it. Kiki's True Crime channel. Thank you, Eve. Thank you. I see you. Okay, go ahead. So it looks like what, 17 minutes, huh? That's it.
Yep. Roughly
Wow.
17 minutes from our exit point from the access road.
That Oak Glen Community Center is definitely that access point. That's where the road comes
Yep.
out.
100%.
And look how short it is. And you actually have a side route there, so it's probably like 15 minutes.
Yeah, absolutely. It probably is.
15 minutes.
Here's the problem, Ryan. Let's cut that down, because I would say this is 13 or 14 minutes. And the reason I say that is what's going on here in Fall Branch right now. There is major construction work happening on the road.
Okay.
And you have red lights that have a minimum wait time of 9 minutes right now. And that's taking this into consideration. That's why you got a red number.
That's wild. Oh, you're right. So it's shorter than 17 minutes.
Yep.
Wow, man. Wow.
We're looking at probably 12 or 13 minutes.
12 or 13 minutes. And yep. I'm sorry, Hermione, Sadie, if you're from Northern Maine, please tell me where, because that's where I grew up. That's pretty freaking cool. Hermione's from Northern Maine. That's where I grew up as a kid. Very cool. Thank you for joining us tonight. Please subscribe. Like to have some Maine locals in here. Dude, this is crazy. This changes the game, because we were timing the route it would take to go from Ben Hill to the Exxon gas station from Beach Creek. And now the possibilities open up. It opens up a whole lot of other possibilities. If you can cross the valley, if you can cross the mountains on the other end of Ben Hill, number one, there's not just one exit from the area. If somebody has summer, there's another way out, and it's a lot faster to the interstate than we ever thought before.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's crazy. Wow.
So I want to answer a question in the chat from Dory. If someone who lives there took summer, they would avoid all and any highways. That's possible. That's why the theory of them going across the mountain is a plausible theory. And once they get across the mountain, taking the back road on Horton Highway all the way down to Baileyton and Greenville exit, getting on Interstate 81 to never be seen again.
Mm-hmm. Next thing you know, you're going 80 miles an hour down the interstate in either direction, toward Virginia or toward Knoxville. And it's game over.
And to be honest, man, there's been a lot of talks about Knoxville. That is the route you're going to take to Knoxville.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So, Chris, what do you think?
Yeah.
Does this open up anything as far as local searching, potential next target locations, plans for, like, as the leaves fall in September and we can start targeting areas? Do you think that this is the right area, or is it more toward the Fields Road area? Like, should we concentrate? Or do you think that this, what you found here, and number one, the truck being there is questionable. We probably should figure out where the truck was coming from and what their structures are, I would think, right?
Right.
Number one. Number two, do you think she's out of the area then? Do you think this means she's taken away and there's no hope of finding her?
I don't think so. This is just one theory out of many, right? One theory out of 1,000. My thoughts is when these trees fall, or when the leaves fall from these trees here, it's probably going to be pretty hard to get past the Redmonds here. I don't think that they're going to let us on the property.
Right.
So my next, I think what I'm going to try next, Ryan, is I want to come over here and talk to the property owners on this side.
Oh, sorry. Hold on. Let me share your screen real quick. There we go. Okay.
So down here, the Redmonds, they're probably not going to let us on this property. Unless something changes. I'm willing to try it, but I don't think they will.
I don't think so
But
either. Yeah.
the next step would be to come over here and talk to these property owners, see how far this property goes up through the woods and who owns it. And I would love to ask if we could get permission to come up in their property, and I want to fly this route.
Yes. I love it, Chris. Come up the other side. Maybe the property owners there
Yep.
will be more.
Yep.
Hermione, I love it. Van Buren, I had a lot of friends from Van Buren, so that's very cool. Thank you for joining. It's nice to have you here. Thank you, Kiki, for your is that a super chat? I think $4.99. Thank you so much. And I have never been able to forget that as well. The sound of Candus near water. I don't know what it means. I've never been able to figure that out, but I agree. Ponds, Chris. Ponds. Have you seen ponds out here in these areas?
Yeah. So that's one reason I want to come up over on this side. When you come up this road from Broom Hollow, and you access this access road, one of the first things you come to. What do you see there, Ryan?
Oh yeah! Wow.
It's one of the first things you come to is a pretty large pond, and an area of some sort of recent construction work at this point. And let's see if we can.
That's interesting.
Let's see if we can timeline this, Ryan. So this is 2025. This is in 2019. So this is before.
I don't know, Beth. A lot of these ponds out in the middle of the mountains, it's hard to say which ones. We know the ones along Ben Hill and Light Hollow have been searched. We have witnesses who said they have, but the ones that Chris is pointing out, I have no idea.
Yeah. So this is what I would like to focus on. I would like to get some permission to go over here, Ryan. I want to come back up, and to be honest, I want to go here as soon as possible.
Yeah.
Forget waiting on the leaves to fall.
In relation to Ben Hill, where is that again? That's if you back out. That is. Oh, that's the Fall Branch side. Yeah.
Yep. Right here's Ben Hill.
Man, we definitely have to get out to the Fall Branch side and see if the property owners would be willing to help us out.
Yep, I agree. We need to probably go and speak to whoever's living in these houses here.
Yeah. Yep. Man, that's wild. The fact that all of these, and you know what, we should have known the trails connect. That there are when we went down, I think it was Bell Road. When Andy was taking me down Bell Road, we got to the end, and it was like ATV trails went in every direction up the mountain.
Yep.
So I'm not surprised. I'm really not surprised there are trails all throughout there. Yeah, that's
someone earlier.
So Glenn, that is
go ahead.
Chris's expertise is advanced drone technology. That is what he does. So absolutely. And the nice thing about what Chris brings to the table here is that when the leaves fall, he can use near infrared, he can use thermal technology. He has a drone that has the ability to detect. And if you watch our last live, Glenn, sorry, my friend Glenn Robinson, he described the technology where Chris has the ability to detect the difference in ground growth and just the difference in ground coloring that could indicate a potential grave site or a burial site. Am I describing that correctly, Chris?
That is correct. Yes.
Yeah. So yes, we can definitely.
So earlier in the live, someone had asked about Light Hollow Road connecting back through here. As you can see on Google Maps, it absolutely goes around through here, and you do have a trail that goes right around through here and connects right over to the Redmonds.
Yeah.
starting right here at the beginning of this access road.
Yep.
So
Yep.
guys,
Fred,
whoever said there is one way in and out of this place, I don't know what their
Yeah.
thoughts were.
At least by foot to Light Hollow. I think Fred told someone 8-minute walk through the woods to
Right.
Light Hollow. So yeah. But that was, people knew that. People knew that you could walk through the woods. What you're describing here is someone taking a vehicle on the other end of Ben Hill and continuing through the woods with a vehicle. And
Yep.
that's a game changer in my opinion. That's another way out.
Yep. Guys, you can get in a vehicle. You can drive all the way around through here.
Yeah.
I know it for a fact. We've drove half of it.
Big Skull, Big Schizo, Little Catatonic. I love your name. We have not looked up tax records, so I'm not sure who that land belongs to, and I wouldn't really want to call them out on YouTube either, but it is interesting that that truck was there. I think there's going to be I think Chris and I are probably going to do a lot of digging to figure out, because if it's someone that we can reach out to, and we don't really need landowner permission. We can take off with Chris's reach, with his drone, the amount of land he can cover, it's a game changer. Mine is like barely half a mile. Chris can go way beyond that, and so all we need is a decent public launch point, and he can scour that land. So we're not too concerned about landowner permission, but it would be nice. It would be nice because you can get closer, couldn't you, Chris, into the deeper.
Yeah. The more permission we have, the closer we can get, the deeper in the woods we can get. It's always good to have permission when trying to do searches like that, because permission equals a lot better search areas. Like.
Yep. Agreed. And I will say, Chris, I feel bad. I do feel bad that, simply you deciding to share your story, to go on YouTube, it's already created drama for you. It's already created problems with people who you used to have no problem with. And all of a sudden, just because you're telling your story, they're going to try to cause problems. So I feel bad. I do feel bad about that.
Yep. I was allowed on the Ben Hill property pretty much anytime I wanted to search. Anytime I wanted to take off from that property, all I had to do is call the PIs, and we were out there that weekend. And because I've decided to share my story on YouTube, and here's the thing, I've been on YouTube before, guys. I've talked on other channels before. This hasn't happened until now. So here we are now, and I'm being told that, they want to hinder my ability to search. But like I said earlier, this isn't going to hinder my ability to search. I'm still going to search for Summer.
To the Wells, to Don and Candus, if you're listening, I'll just say that whatever you were told about Chris's intentions and Chris working with us, whatever you were told most likely was not true. We've had this happen before. The Wells had heard things from people, things we'd said that weren't true, and they came back around. And so I'm hoping that they realized whatever they were told was completely fabricated, was not true. Chris's intentions, Chris and I met in person, first time Light Hollow Road, way at the end at Glenn and Steve's. Chris was going to attempt to search an area there and then realized pretty quickly the foliage is quite a problem on Light Hollow. But Chris is clearly trying to do what he can do to help find answers. And what I love about Chris, the cool thing about Chris, he's like, he's been searching for Summer forever. But then I mentioned Leila Santelo, and I'm like, there's a search coming up on the weekend. And Chris is like, I'm happy to help. I want to help Jennifer and her family. I want to help other missing persons cases too. So Chris is not in this for clicks and views on a particular case. He wants to look for the missing, and he wants to find answers and closure for families. And the fact that Chris has the technology he has, the expertise that he has is huge. It brings so much to the table, so much to the table. So I thank you, Chris, for taking the risk. You know what I mean? Of doing this full-fledged on your own, independent,
Yeah.
and helping these families, because so many families need the help and they need the expertise, and so few people stepping up willing to volunteer. You know what I mean? To
Yeah.
try to help.
Yeah. Because it's unfortunate. You know, I talked to Mr. Gorley when I was out there just a few days ago, and Mr. Gorley told me that, you know, the 5-year marks came and gone, and that there's just not a lot of people out there anymore.
Mhm.
He said it's just like another day on Ben Hill now, that no one's searching for summer, and that's sad, guys.
Yeah.
That's, I mean,
Can you share the other thing he said about a neighbor?
earlier in the live, I said that I didn't want to bring a name, that I didn't want to put a name to a statement. So I'll let you all put 2 and 2 together. But Mr.
He's
Gorley
glad
is he's
yeah.
glad that someone's gone from
Yeah.
Ben Hill Road.
Princess 0107, the Redmonds is the property way at the end of Ben Hill Road. And if you go back in this live, you'll see Chris outlined. If you go past the Redmonds, which you can't anymore because they've gated it off, there's a road that connects all the way through to Fall Branch, which is just, it is shocking. I didn't realize, and you were there, you were out there, Chris, boots on the ground, you saw it yourself, and you saw a truck driving out there, which is just crazy.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah.
Hey, Joe Billy, good to see you. I don't know, the PI, I don't think they don't want anyone out there to stop looking. I just think that, I don't know what I think, Chris. It's like, they hate YouTube.
No.
They don't like YouTube as a platform. Anyone on YouTube to them is evil. So, you know, I don't think that means that there's nefarious reasons or they don't want people looking for summer. I just think that they have a really negative view of YouTube as a platform in general, no matter who the YouTuber is. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I think that you hit it spot on there. They've always not been too fond of YouTube. They don't really like YouTubers. They think that YouTubers hinder the case. But that's the thing. I made it very clear to them when this started that I would not be someone who goes out here to hinder this case. I've spent years looking for summer. Why would I all of a sudden start to try to hinder this case? I have no reason to.
Yeah.
I just want this beautiful girl found. That's it.
I truly believe, Chris, that, you know, and Karina makes a good point. I mean, it was a YouTube channel that found Gabby Petito, and it's, when you talk about the technology we're bringing to the table, if you think about it, you guys, if we want it, let's say Chris and I came across a local contact who said, I think something happened on this property right here. We have the ability. Number one, Chris's drones are beyond I can't even describe the type of technology. If you watch our Laurel Run Park video, within 10 minutes, he found the cavern system that we felt that cold air within 10 minutes. So the technology, the drone technology is huge. We've got divers. We've got a dog now. You know, we've got a sonar expert who has sonar boats. Like, we can bring a lot of things to the table that are needed for any particular situation. But I'm especially excited about this, Chris, because in my opinion, ever since we started this channel, this was something we Jen and I could never afford. When you're talking near infrared thermal technology, these are things we could only dream of. And so when you and I started talking, it was like, oh man, there's so many possibilities. There's so many places that we searched that now it's a whole different story because you have the ability to search at a level that we could never search before.
Absolutely. Yep. And
Chillbilly has absolutely seen the Wells. Hey, Chillbilly, if you're still friends with them, could you ask them why they don't like us anymore? Because I'm still confused. I don't, I don't know. Like I said, if the Wells are watching this, whatever they've been told, it's not true. They're being poisoned against Chris and I for some reason, and I'm more than happy. And Chris, I know, is more than happy to talk to Don anytime that he wants to. And it doesn't have to go to YouTube. Chris isn't going to automatically run to YouTube like these other channels. But, you know, it's a matter of just asking questions, maybe even launching from the property, which would be a lot more convenient than having to find alternative places. But I don't know.
Yeah, that's it. You know, if I would love for Don to sit down and speak to me. It doesn't have to be with a camera. It doesn't have to be with you know, a microphone. It can be off the air, just a conversation between me and Don, just to kind of show Don the type of person that I am. He should already know that because I've been searching for his daughter for years. But, you know, unfortunately, he's taken the word of one or two people and automatically making his own assumptions that I'm going to be this horrible person, and I'm not. So Don, you know, like Ryan said, if you're listening, Don, please reach out to me. You should have my phone number. I've texted you. I didn't get a reply. Please reach out to me. I would love to speak to you. I would love to put to rest any kind of issues that you have with me. Because at the end of the day, I just want to find your daughter.
Man, yeah. And I don't get it. I don't get it. I mean, any family I've ever talked to, Chris, of a missing person, they will welcome, they will invite, they will beg for the kind of technology and resources that are just being volunteered, no cost. You know, it doesn't have to be on YouTube. We've done a lot of searches. We call them dark searches. We've done a lot of searches in the area that if a landowner says, hey, you know what, we don't want to have anything to do with YouTube, that's completely 100% fine, because the number one priority is finding Summer or finding whatever missing person we're covering. So it's like, we do this, and I know Chris has expenses. Chris has technology. Chris would like to do this. I'm sure, Chris, correct me if I'm wrong, but you'd like to do this more than you do today.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
I would love to be able to do this every day.
That's what YouTube, you guys, that's what YouTube helps us do. It does. Yes, it does pay for gas. It pays for technology. It pays for our time, but we don't, that's not the priority. That's not why we're doing this. We're doing this to find answers. And so if a landowner wants help, if they want to contact us, like Chris said at the end of the Laura Run video, if a landowner wants us to go ahead and come and do a search on their property, and they don't want it on YouTube, that's totally fine, because that's not our top priority. We'd appreciate being able to share the story and what we're doing for the missing person, but it's not our top priority. So to the Wells, I don't know what they're telling you about Chris and I. I don't know what they're saying. I know it's not true, probably. You have seen Don, specifically Don. I've had phone calls with you. I've texted with you. You know what I have posted online about all of our conversations. Absolutely nothing. And that should stand for something. Of anything else, our integrity should stand for something, regardless of what other people are trying to make you believe about us. And even more so about Chris, because Chris has not even been on YouTube. And for the past 5 years, he has been actively searching for Summer. And to me, that is even more powerful than what Jen and I have done. You know, Chris is only now telling his story. So I don't know. I have a huge, the reason, Chris, that the moment you reached out to me personally, when we started talking, that's the reason I'm like, absolutely, man. You need to, if you're starting to tell your story, Jen and I are going to support you 100% the whole journey, because what you are doing is obviously the priority is boots on the ground, because that's what you've been doing before now. So, it's amazing what you do. It's amazing what you do. And I appreciate you so much. I hope the viewers here see the value of what Chris brings to the table. I hope everyone's subscribed to Chris. If you haven't, please do. What do you have coming up next, Chris? Are you going to be doing lives? Are you going to be doing any videos coming up soon?
Yeah. I've got one video that I was going to post about a recent trip that I made. I think I might hold off on that. I think I might try to record a different one, because I would like to post a better video. Depends on what's happened in the next couple of weeks. I would like to.
It changes daily. It changes daily, doesn't it?
It does. It does. Especially, with what I do. I could put my batteries on charge tonight, wake up in the morning, and all of a sudden the weather's got me not flying.
Yeah.
So, but hopefully I would like to be able to go out to the properties that we talked about today on the live.
Yeah.
Kind of go ahead and start doing some research and figuring out where to go from there. Maybe put eyes on the ground on the backside of that mountain.
Yep. Start covering that land for sure. And I do want to say that Jen and I know Jennifer Santelo appreciates the fact that you're willing to volunteer your time to start. I know you had the idea. This was completely your idea to start scanning the whole Greenbelt all over again this fall.
Yes.
Potentially. That's huge, because we don't know if the stories are true, if she did go in that direction or not. So that's a lot of work. And for you to be willing to volunteer your time to do a high-tech scan of, I don't know how many feet on both sides of the trail, dude, that's huge. That is amazing. Yeah. So thank you for that too.
Yeah. Thank you for allowing me to help. I can't wait to be able to get out there and start flying this area.
Yeah. Awesome. Any last words to our tribe as we move forward in this case and other cases?
I look forward to continuing to engage with the community, not only on your channel, but hopefully on my channel coming up. The goal is to keep Summer's name out there, and other missing people as well. So let's not give up. We're going to keep searching. If anyone in the area that wants to volunteer, that's willing to volunteer, definitely reach out to me or Ryan. Hopefully you'll see some more videos from me, and maybe an upgrade for my channel, and I won't have, the cameras that I've got now. We can look a little bit better over here, but
you have to start somewhere.
Yeah.
Start somewhere. Yeah. Hold on a second. I'm sorry. I have to. One thing Chill Billy said, Chill Billy, dude, you are so right. And that's where Chris and I are at. After talking to Gene in the last live, the whole concept now Chris and I are talking about is, maybe that's the case. Maybe it's rescanning, right, Chris? That area, the whole Ben Hill area.
Absolutely. That is a goal, is to start and just start over, rescan Ben Hill, rescan the area around it, start from square one, and go over those pictures, not only with a fine-tooth comb with our own eyes, but with the help of programs and the help of AI now, as AI starts to get involved in more and more in scanning images, and see if there's anything that we've missed, anything that's there's programs out there that I have that could help us a lot as well.
Yep, I think Gene described it best as that comparison between the past and where things look now on the land, and that could tell a whole story, right?
Change analysis.
Yep, change analysis. It's exciting, Chris. In my opinion, the use of technology is going to be a game changer in all of these cases, and it takes it to a whole different level in ground searching. Oh man, thank you, Carmel. Where is the side road you found in relation to the footprints?
Off
Do
to
you
the
remember
southeast, roughly a mile and a quarter.
So if you pass the Gorley property, which is where the footprints headed into splitting the gap toward Fields Road, what Chris was highlighting tonight, if you go back in this live, Chris is highlighting passing that property entirely, going all the way to the end, and then continuing on. And in 2021, there wasn't as much gates, and the gate that was there, I think you said, was not even locked, Chris. It was just open.
Yeah, back in 2021, that there was not a fence around the perimeter. This was open to anyone to just drive up. The gate usually stayed open. You could just drive up this access route. Anyone could have drove up that road at any point when Summer went missing. This wasn't something that was highly guarded the way it is now.
Yep. Change analysis. That's one thing
There
that
you go.
changed. Right. Yep. So thank you. Thank you guys for joining us tonight. Oh, another one, really good question. Your local weather forecast. Do you remember the rumor of a wine barrel? If you look at Google Maps a few years before someone was saying Don had a barrel. The barrel, I'll tell you, a lot of these clues came from psychics early on in the days. I've removed the weight of those clues because I don't think there's much to it. So the wine barrel, a lot of people in the area, in that area, have wine barrels for various reasons. So Kiki True Crime says, thank you, Kiki, by the way, for supporting the channel. Did anyone interview anyone in Knoxville? Not that I know of. I think you're probably referring to a lot of the Fred Hill claims, maybe. We know the address of the guy because we got a screenshot of a letter with his address. I don't think there's anything to that in this case. I think that's just a dead end rabbit trail. And I hope, Chris, that we protect you from all of the rabbit holes that are out there in this case, because it's insane, man. It's insane. There's so many lies. There's so much misinformation in this case in particular. So, all right. You think we're good for tonight? You think we covered everything we needed to?
Ryan, we could go on for the next 2 hours and not cover everything we need to.
Yeah, I know. So next steps, Chris and I are going to be collaborating and planning on the next searches. Obviously in this case, but also, like I said, Chris has volunteered to help with Leila Santelo searches. That's huge. Jennifer is very appreciative. Chris is now in the group, our message group for the search team. So unfortunately, this weekend, we were planning a search this weekend. Chris was ready to come out with his gear, and the weather is just not cooperating. So we'll have to do that sometime soon. And then Chris and I also are going to be going out and, toward the fall and doing some scans of the Greenbelt, which we've done a lot of videos on, but only by foot. And this is going to be a game changer. So anyway, thank you so much, Chris, for everything you do, everything you're planning on doing, and being willing to tell everyone your story as you're going down this new adventure in these searches for missing people.
Yeah, thank you for having me on the channel.
All right, man. So everyone, thank you. Have a great night. I hope that this was interesting. Chris and I will probably talk a little more about that end of Ben Hill. I think we have a lot of research still we need to do. And of course, the landowners, talk to the landowners, probably do some. This isn't the end of this end of things. We need to figure out where that truck was coming from, who owns that land, and just figure out if we can get in there and do some searching. So yeah, there's a lot Chris and I have to work on, and we'll get back to you all on that. Appreciate you all. Thank you, Chris, again. Have a great night. I hope you hope it's not too late for you. All right. Thanks, everyone. Have a great night. Love you all. Appreciate you all. And we will see you next time.